The director was abruptly awoken by the racket of epic festivities playing loudly on his television. He sits up and looks over his shoulder to confirm what he thought. It was 3 a.m. He ponders at the television, swearing he turned it off, when suddenly he hears a name he never thought he'd hear on TV. The director shambles over to the screen and bears witness. His rival, Green, already crowned Pokémon champion. This can't be. Oak said he would tomorrow, but the director tries to gather his thoughts. His world begins to spin, his dreams to be Pallet Town's first champion squashed before it began. The lights in his room begin to flicker. His electronic devices and Nintendo begin to spaz and flop around when just then a familiar voice on the TV begins to call out to the director. Snapping him out of his tizzy, the director glances over toward the TV and sees his rival Green pointing as if addressing him. "You'll never amount to anything," he shouts. He then snatches the microphone from the reporter, then crawls halfway out of the TV and volleys a barrage of discouraging negative trash talk, stirring up all the feelings and doubts the director tried so hard to bury away. Failure, defeat, inadequacy, being late. Suddenly, Green tosses a giant Pokeball at the director as everything seems to slow down to a crawl. The true journey, the Midjourney. The director sits up frantically, heart racing, and with a splitting headache. It seemed like a damn Moltres was outside the window the way sunlight beamed through the blinds and directly into his migraine. Then it finally occurred to him. Today was the day. Now. And he was late. Surely Green is way ahead of me, right? I overslept. Slacking, I'm not off to a good start. I grabbed some clothes. Do I have some fly clothes? Do I have some fly clothes? Are my clothes fly? That's a real question. I feel like I would have prepared for this day. I'm going to say very likely. I would definitely be the type of trainer that would look like the theme or the Pokemon that they use. But being that I only have one Pokemon right now, which is my Vulpix, I would probably try to rock some clothes that are very similar looking. Some oranges, some reds. Do I have any dope red or orange clothes? Very likely. Yeah. So I'm gonna grab the dopest clothes. I'm gonna grab the dopest clothes possible. And I'm gonna bounce out of here. It's the late morning, right? Very likely. Yeah. So I'm running late. I really do sort of blame my mother for not waking me up. I'm that age. I blame her for, Mom, you know I wanted to be on my, it was my first day. How old am I? You know what? All right, look, this is red, but I'm not a kid. I'm not Ash. I'm just gonna be myself. I think I'm gonna be like my age. My mom lives down the street, but she's just over. Anyway, salute to my mother. I sprint out with the Pokeball. After finally being able to wrap up a drawn-out conversation with his mother in the most polite way possible, the director makes his way to the front door, juggling his backpack and Vulpix windbreaker over his shoulder, but still manages to hug his mother goodbye. After all, he was grateful for having someone to watch after his studio while he was gone. He was in such a rush, he almost left behind his most important tool. The director quickly retrieves the Pokeball he received yesterday from off the kitchen table, then heads out. Lo and behold, he runs into Professor Oak. So I run into Oak, and I am in a rush, but I have respect for Oak. I slow it down a little bit to talk to Oak, just to let him know. It looks bad that I'm leaving late. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't care. Does Oak care? What does Oak say when I see him? What does Oak say when I see him? Oppose. Odd. I interpret this as he's encouraging me to go out there and face the odds and oppose the odds. Oak he's probably says something along the lines of, take your time, take it slow. And he probably and he encourages me to spend more time with my Vulpix. Because he notices that I still have it in the ball. And he's like, spend more time with your Vulpix. What else does Oak say? Dispute. Wild. Yeah, I mean, he's, you're going to face some odds out there. You're going to face some incredible odds out there, and you're going to be wrestling with the wilds, nature, and not just Pokemon, but also the environment and everything that comes with that. So take your time. He notices that I still have my Vulpix in the ball, and he's probably like, you should spend more time with your Vulpix. That's going to be your partner out there. And I say, yeah, you're right. But look, I gotta go. So I keep, I dip out. I'm behind. I gotta catch up with Green. Green is gone, right? Very likely. Yeah. I'm the one that's lagging and dragging. What does Professor Oak say about Green? Polite. Haggle. I take this as, he pretty much says that Green haggled him and convinced him and begged him and talked him into letting him take his Pokemon and heading out without me. He says that he's encouraged Green to wait for me. Since we're both from Pallet Town, he encouraged Green to wait for me. It's a tradition. It's polite to wait for your fellow trainers when you're embarking on your journeys together. But Green was able to convince him to let him go, and I'm okay. I understand. Green was always kind of a butthead, right? So I'm like, that's fine. I'm gonna get out of here though. Yo, Oak, thank you so much for the opportunity. Hold up. Oak, thank you for the... Professor Oak stops the director before he could gush any further and places his hand over his forehead, shushing him. The director began to feel a slight tingling in his forehead and a brief lightheadedness. Oak pats him on the shoulder, and with a face as serious as a heart attack begins to quietly reiterate his advice. Don't let all this Pallet Town champion stuff get to your head. It's not a race. It's a journey. Enjoy it. The director nods. Of course, Oak. Though Oak looked unconvinced, then continues. It's an experience. However, unlike everyone else, for you, it's about fate. The director wondered why he was the last to know about how important this was to Oak, and tries not to collapse under the weight of expectation in front of his mentor. Instead, he lifts his chin and with the utmost confidence sucks his teeth and says, I ain't worried. The professor's scowl turns into a smile. My nephew can be a bit much, I know. We all know. Perhaps you could lead by example? The director didn't care much for being a role model, but it was the least he could do for Oak and Pallet Town's legacy, so he nods, salutes Oak, and heads off to Route 1. waving at supporting bystanders, giving him a warm send-off. The director had an uphill battle for sure, though one much more dire than Route 1. In reality, the director was but a child on the cusp of death, mortally wounded Midjourney, now bedbound with blunt force trauma to the forehead. His mother, bedside, with her head buried into his arm for days in and days out, as various townsfolk come visit the would-be Pokemon trainer. Come evening, just before the visiting hours end, Professor Oak and the mysterious trainer enters the room. Oak kindly introduces the director's mother to the trainer, who introduces himself as Spurn, with great remorse. He comes clean and explains the unfortunate events he was witness to. It was his own Pidgey that tackled the rookie trainer. The director's mother leaps up with an infuriated gaze of curiosity and directs a burning question toward Professor Oak. Are these the creatures we're letting kids, people, walk around with these days? Spurn interjects with an attempt to harbor all the blame, explaining that he has overleveled his Pidgey to the point of disobedience. Disobedience? She exclaims. Spurn takes a step back. I told it to finish off a Rattata. Does that look like a Rattata to you? Oak steps in to save Spurn, gesturing to just stop, and thanks him for bringing the unconscious boy into town. Spurn nods and backs away until he reaches the doorway. Before departing, he spots the Pokebox reserved for deceased Pokemon sitting in a carriage beside a Chansey. Spurn pays his respects to the director's deceased Pokemon, then departs. The director's mother fixes her tearful gaze toward her comatose son and reserves her disdain for the culture. Conflicted, Professor Oak embraces her. Heading north from Pallet Town, trainers must make their way around a large but very primitive route that will become their very first route they will explore on their journey. The route is riddled with large patches of tall grass and ledges that contour from far east to the far west, blocking off most of the route, making it hard to travel north, only to have small gaps by which the road has been broken into. After traveling north past the gap in the ledge, there will be a small clearing where a man working for a Pokemart can be found giving out a free potion to trainers. That man is not a man at all. I encounter Julia Fay. Now, Julia Fay was submitted as a rival trainer. Julia Fay, while not the best trainer when it comes to skill, has a wonderful bond with her Pokemon, Caterpie, and can teach you ways of bonding with your Pokemon. So I encounter Julia Fay. What does Julia Fay look like? Lean, equipment, drab. Okay, so I'm picturing this lean trainer. She has all kinds of straps and bags filled with potions. She works at the Pokemart. And this is why she is so caring, because she knows what items and equipment is needed to take care of your Pokemon best. And I encounter her, and she has a Caterpie that looks like it just kind of had a rough time. It looks scathed, it looks beaten, and I encounter her, and I say, "Hey, everything all right?" What'd she say? joyful truce. I interpret that as she's saying, first off, she's not having a hard time. Despite what it looks like, her and her canopy actually appear to be having, not much of a bad time. She's taking care of it. She's giving it a potion. And the canopy looks like it's going to be a-okay. There's clearly a great bond between Julia Fay and her Caterpie. Julia Fay applies the last drop of potion onto her Caterpie's bulbous head, then pets it reassuringly. This creature was strange and unsettling with all of its little feet, yet soft and cuddly in a pitiful kind of way. Just then, the director became much more grateful for his starter. However, he notices Julia was just as grateful, if not more, for her Caterpie. In this conversation with Julia Fay, someone who can teach how to bond with your Pokemon, I'm going to roll to see if there's a chance that the conversation is beneficial. Is the conversation beneficial? Is she getting through to me how to bond with your Pokemon? Do I understand it? Am I able to apply it? I'm going to say likely. I'm going to say very likely. Yes. Event, haggle / opposition. One, yes, she is able to teach me how. And the Vulpix is out. I pulled the Vulpix out of the ball, and I go on to bond with it, and she's explaining why it's important, what are the best ways. But also, again, she works and or is affiliated with the Pokemon in Viridian City, and so she uses this moment to, and this is how I'm interpreting haggle in opposition. She's saying it's dangerous out here. You're going to encounter trainers with strong bonds with their Pokemon. They're going to give you some work. So you're going to want to remember that when you're in town, stop by the Pokemon in Viridian City, this particular Pokemon. Don't go to them other places that sell other things, the opposition. Come to our mart, get yourself some damn potions. She gives me a potion. She is that guy on Route 1 that always gives you that free potion. She gives me a potion on top of teaching me some things. When she's teaching me how to bond with the Pokemon, what exactly is she saying? What are some things that she's saying, for example? Let's see. She says, loving, peace. It's all about peace and love. Your Pokemon will find peace if they have full trust and love the trainer. Makes sense to me. Moments pass of chatting with Julia while their Pokemon splash about in Route 1's spotty beds of red dandelions. The director feels a renewed surge of passion swelling within his heart and takes from this conversation with Julia Fay an abundance of respect for his Vulpix and his partnership with Pokemon as a whole, as well as several Viridian Pokemart flyers now stuffed into his coat. The director jumps to his feet, and just before calling out to his Vulpix, he instead calls it by a name he faintly remembered giving it in a dream he had last night. Cinder, he shouts. What is the Vulpix doing in reaction to this newfound bonding? What is the Vulpix doing? Rolling on the animal action table. Deliberate. Odd. It's odd to the Vulpix that I'm doing this, but it can see and understand that this is deliberate. It's coming from the heart. It's seeing that this is a deliberate action. I actually do care for it, and this may be a breakthrough in this new budding partnership with this Vulpix. Suddenly, Julia points and screams for us to look out. Shooting from out of the canopy of nearby trees, a wild Pidgey comes darting toward the party. Is this the same one that just gave her Caterpie work? Likely. No, but it's not the same one, but it's also swooping in and it's going for the Caterpie as well as myself. It's going for all of us. This one, it's not the same one, but this one wants all of the smoke just as much as the previous one did. There's something about this Caterpie. She says, "Watch out!" Am I able to react to this in time to do something about it? Somewhat unlikely. Just to keep it real. No. No. What about her? Is she able to do anything, being that she was facing that way as this Pidgey comes flying out of the tall grass, out of the skies? Was she able to do anything about it? Very likely. Definitely. What is she doing with the Caterpie? I mean, at this point, her Caterpie probably knows what? String shot? Is the Caterpie doing string shot? Very likely. Yes. Is the Caterpie able to successfully string shot the Pidgey? These are tough Pidgeys. I'm going to say somewhat likely. Yes. At most, this Pidgey is level 8. At most, level 7, level 8. I mean, they're a little bit stronger than normal, but they ain't that stronger than normal. I don't know. I'm gonna roll a d10 and that's gonna be the level it is. So there is a chance that this thing could no gust, which would be terrifying. Let's see. What level is this Pidgey? Three. So at minimum, it's gonna be 5. So I'll add 3 on the 5. We'll say it's level 8. It's alright. It's strong. We knew that. Vulpix level 5. We got this. The levels don't really mean much. The levels are only more so going to be so we know what moves they have access to or can potentially have access to. With the Pidgey slowed down, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to use Disable. We're going to approach this strategically. The Pidgey just trying to tackle us. We're going to use Disable so that it can't. Julia commands her Caterpie to string shot the incoming Pidgey, and with not a second spared, the Caterpie spews a thick string of webbing that hits and splatters across the charging Pidgey's wing, slowing its warpath. So it slows down the Pidgey with string shot, which is giving us time to move out of the way. Was the Pidgey able to successfully hit my Vulpix, catching it off guard, by the way? 50-50. It's level 8. 50-50. Was it able to hit my Vulpix? Was it able to hit Cinder? 50-50. Definitely not. Success, a critical fail. My Vulpix is able to capitalize on this. I want Cinder to not only evade but also position itself for eye-to-eye contact Disable. Cinder swiftly side hops the charging airborne Pidgey, its seething rage seen clearly in its eyes, smoldering as it soars by. Time slowing as both Cinder and the raging tiny bird Pokemon lock eyes in passing. I say, Vulpix, use Disable. That Pidgey comes swooping in. My Vulpix evades it effortlessly. Is my Vulpix able to land that Disable? Likely. Critical success. With a minor flex of mental muscle, Cinder sparks a psychic burst that emits from its eyes, dazzling the Pidgey in their brief second of eye contact. The Pidgey ascends back into the sky, slightly frazzled and severely forgetful. Cinder repositions. The director pumps his fist. Yeah, you got him right where you want him. Is the Pidgey able to go next? 50-50. Yes. What is it doing? Is it continuing to assault? It'll use struggle. Is it continuing to assault now that it cannot tackle? I'm going to say unlikely. No. It's probably sand attacking, right? That's the only other move that it would have. What is it doing now that it's not continuing its original plan? What is it doing? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll on combat action. Prepare. Okay. I'm gonna roll another one just to kind of get a defined response. Recruit. The Pidgey begins squawking about, not at us, but into the air. The director glances over at Julia. Julia, what's it doing? Julia replies, I don't know, dude. You lived here for like 40 years. These are your Pidgeys. Okay, first off, I'm in my 30s. Okay? Is it calling out for help? Very likely. Definitely. It's preparing to. Okay. So it's being defensive. It's starting to prepare to call for help. I'm going to have Vulpix light it up. Vulpix, use Ember. Is Cinder able to land Ember? Likely. Yes. Before the Pidgey could make any more ruckus, the director commands Cinder to shoot it out the sky with Ember. Does it hurt this? Does it hurt the Pidgey? Likely. Yes. Does the Pidgey succumb to its wounds? Unlikely. No. So, got a good hit with Ember on the Pidgey. Boom, boom, boom. Is the Pidgey still trying to call for help? Is it continuing its endeavor? Ember? Is it calling for help? 50-50. No. Events, ambush / nature. It taps into its instinct in the way it hunts any ground creature. It taps into its nature and it starts to soar. And take to the skies and stay out of range and try to evade like a bird in its prey so that it can swoop in, waiting for an opportunity to ambush its target. So it's being more defensive. And it's waiting. It's probably waiting for another attack. It's probably waiting to retaliate, which is dangerous, but it's a lot better than calling another one. We'll take it. It's waiting. Is my Vulpix able to go next? Very likely. A sure thing. Yes. Event, ruin / power. Is it starting to rain? That could ruin power. It could put, kind of put out some of the flames, make the flames more endurable. But it can also ruin its flight path. Kind of be an obstacle in the sky, depending on how hard it's raining. It can be an ambiguous negative for both of us. Is it starting to rain? Likely. Yes. Are we both negatively impacted by the rain? Like, somewhat likely. Yeah. Okay. Rain clouds lurk from over the hills, and soon we're gifted with a timely morning downpour. The Pidgey's singed feathers now doused and soothed. the skies turbulent with moderate winds. The hostile Pidgey circles its targets, its eyes fixed on Cinder as it patiently stalks from above, waiting for an opportunity. Tell Cinder to stay light on his feet, keep an eye on the skies as best as it can. And despite the rain, really make that ember count. I think what's going to happen is it's going to just make it harder for it to take out the Pidgey with the rain. We already hit it once, and that's good. Is Cinder able to successfully land? Ember. It's flying around, it's defensive, it's trying to evade. I said likely last time. Probably not likely, probably a little more or less likely here. So, somewhat likely. Is he able to land? Is Cinder able, is she able to land the second Ember attack? Somewhat likely. Yes, but it just doesn't hit the same. The rain's it's a little soggy. It's the bird, the feathers, and maybe it hit, but it didn't really hit with that oomph because of the rain. But it hits, and does it hurt? Somewhat likely. Somewhat likely. No, it shrugs off the ember. It hits it, but it's eating it, and an event occurs. Event attach / emotions. As encouraged, Cinder gives its next ball of flame everything it could and spits embers through the rain, hitting the Pidgey square as ash and flame burn dissipates on collision. The Pidgey shrugs it off, though, more agitated than before. A sharp pain suddenly begins to ache in the center of the director's head, and for a moment the director wonders if he was in over his head. However, this doubt is soon dispelled when he realizes Cinder is giving it her all, inspiring him to gather his composure. Oak was right. For the director, the stakes were infinitely raised, more so than he could fathom. Is Vulpix able to go again? Very unlikely, because the Pidgey's probably reacting. Very unlikely. Is Vulpix able to take another action? Very unlikely. No. Event, divide / inside. Just like the Pidgey was waiting for, it tries to move in a way that divides us and splits us apart from her and Caterpie and me and Vulpix. Strategically, it's very smart. It's trying to divide and work its way inside. In turn, it probably will give it a better angle when it's diving for the attack. Is it still disabled though? Just remember that we use disabled. Is it still disabled? Likely. I mean, this is his first time attacking since. I mean, it did wait. Somewhat likely. Is its tackle still disabled? Definitely. So it's not tackling. What is it doing instead? I'm gonna go ahead and roll animal action. Oppose. So it's still putting up a fight. It can only use sand attack. Is it using sand attack? Sure thing. Yes. So it's strategically separating us apart. Probably it actually got us to move away near a patch of the grass that it's able to kick up more sand with. So that's probably why it was trying to divide us. So one of us would move towards an area where it could probably get the most sand in its next sand attack. It uses sand attack. Is it successfully able to hit Cinder with sand attack? It's raining. 50-50. No, misses. The Pidgey cleverly routes both Pokemon and their trainers toward the wide dirt path with its menacing airborne presence until it finally gets them where it wants them, before dive soaring down the middle of the wide dirt path, whipping up twin waves of wet sand that divides the group into two. Caterpie rolls out of the way and like a lasso, snatches Julia out of harm's way. The director tumbles into the grass, as does Cinder. "That's right, Cinder!" the director shouts.
Misses the sand attack. Is Pidgey able to go again? Somewhat unlikely. Yes, but at a somewhat disadvantage. So it's able to do it. Go again. Is it continuing with the sand attack? Is it trying the sand attack again? Very likely. Yes. Is it able to successfully land that second sand attack? I'm going to give it an even bigger penalty. Very unlikely. No, because Cinder is on the move. Cinder, I tell, to get a better angle, wait for the Pidgey to get a little bit lower in its flight path. Therefore, the less rain is impacting the ember, and shoot that ember. Is there a perfect moment to shoot this ember that comes up within a reasonable amount of time? Somewhat likely. Yes.
The Pidgey comes in hot for a second time, weaponizing the dirt path against its targets. But again, Cinder reads and evades the sand attack as it runs alongside Pidgey's flight path, cloaked under the tidally unfurling sand waves. Julia watches in awe of Vulpix's beauty and grace. Cinder meets the Pidgey at the end of its swoop, its mouth embroiled with embers at the ready.
And that's when I tell Cinder to take the shot. Cinder takes the shot. Is it able to hit it with ember? Likely. Yes, and
Cinder, use ember! At nearly point-blank range, the director's Vulpix peppers the Pidgey with searing balls of flame. The director's teeth and fists remain clenched, tightly shut.
Because you got an incredible yes on that. I'm going to say something. I'm going to say likely. Does it damage it? Yes. Does the Pidgey succumb to the wounds? Somewhat likely. Definitely not. It's a tough Pidgey. It's a tough Pidgey.
Ascending from the fiery, smoky sand, the Pidgey swoops back up into the air. The director plants his head on his bald head with a loud smack of disappointment. It's Palatown Pidgeys, man.
Is Cinder able to go again? 50-50. I mean, he just got hit with that. 50-50. No. Alright, so the Pidgey is probably not having a great time. Is the Pidgey continuing its assault? Unlikely. Definitely not. What is it doing instead? Animal action. Or a combat action. Friendship. Messages. It begins calling for reinforcements. Like it started to. Is it calling for reinforcements? Very likely. Yes. Does anything immediately come? Unlikely. Yes, but it's just one more Pidgey. Is it just one Pidgey? Likely. Yes. Event. Control / exterior factors. Yes, but we don't lose control of this because of exterior factors. The exterior factor being that I have assistance. I have Julia Faye with me. She has potions. Julia Faye joins the fray. The second Pidgey coming in. Do I have time to make a move before it joins the fight? Before it gets close enough to join the fight? Likely. Yes. My Vulpix able to go? Likely. No, but Caterpie is. What is Julia Faye doing with Caterpie? Neglect. Hide. Julia Faye is telling her Caterpie to stand by because she's likely going to use String Shot whenever she gets a good shot. Is that what's happening? Very likely. Yeah. The first Pidgey attacks. Is it still disabled? Unlikely. Definitely not. And it's coming in. Is it coming in to attack? What is it doing? Now that it has successfully called help, what is it doing? Heal. Abnormal. It's biding its time. We know it can't heal itself. It's biding its time because it's hurt. It wants to kind of take a breather. So it's kind of, taking a defensive maneuver and just staying in the air. Staying clear of another ember because it might put it down. Which makes sense. The other Pidgey comes. What is it doing? Frantic. Heal. It's frantic and even more aggressive because it sees that its companion is hurt. And so it's angry and it's probably coming in for an attack. Is it coming in for an attack? Very likely. Definitely. Does Julia's Caterpie take this opportunity like it was waiting to shoot String Shot? Is Julia able to go with Caterpie? Very likely, because they were standing by. Yes. Is it able to successfully land a String Shot? Very likely. Likely. Yes. Is the Pidgey able to attack again? The second Pidgey is able to attack again. Unlikely. Definitely not. It's slowed.
The avenging Pidgey comes soaring in after Cinder, but is soon subdued by a stream of webbing spat by Julia's Caterpie, bringing the Pidgey reinforcement to a slowing halt. The director salutes Julia, then does a complete anime spin into an epic pose, pointing at the first weakened Pidgey, and commands Cinder to get him out of here.
The Pidgey's flying a little bit lower because it's hurt, right? Likely. Definitely. It's flying a lot low. It's an easier target. This Ember should put it out. Is Cinder able to take out this Pidgey with a third Ember? Likely. Very likely. Yes. Event postpone / dispute. Man, this Cinder takes this out, shoots the best Ember it has ever shot. What is it about this Ember that is just so majestic? Let me get a description here. Combatively smooth. The fire is like a smooth stream of fire, like a pinpoint. Bow. You know that little sound when you hit my headshot in Overwatch? Ping! It just ping!
Cinder focuses and seems to have figured out its Ember technique because it manages to spew a perfectly formed burst of embers with precision, scoping the Pidgey out of the air.
Does it do damage? Very likely. Very likely. Yes, and does it succumb to the wounds? Very likely. Yes. Another event. Event heal / success. So that first event, postpone / disputes, that other Pidgey saw that and was like, till next time. Does it decide to stop fighting and flee for now? Postpone disputes? Likely.
The singed Pidgey drops from the sky into the grass with a loud plop. The other Pidgey, still sticky with webbing, ascends into the air, then flees into the canopy.
And so because it went away, the next event, heal/success, we have time to get a breather because that fight is over. That was our first win. That was a success.
The director pumps his fist, letting out a hard grunt. It was this moment that confirmed for him that just like Lieutenant Surge, the Elite Four, and every hitchhiker, he too could someday become a noteworthy champion in their mid-30s. He calls for Cinder, who comes running up to him, and the two celebrate their success. Then the well of joy in the director's face dries up and he becomes much more serious looking. Cinder notices and stops in confusion. The director puts his hand on Cinder's head and says, "We have further to go, Cinder, but good job." He puts his hand up, finger spread, palm out, and says, "Let's see that again." With all trust and little hesitation, Cinder uses its embers technique, setting the director's hand ablaze. The director winces and begins shaking fire off of his hands while laughing hysterically. Julia walks over with the burn heal and says the potion was on the house, but these are going to cost you though.
Vulpix was 3 for 3 embers. No, I think it missed the second one. 2 for 3 is good. 2 for 3 is good. Got the disable off. Coming off of a fresh bonding experience. Does Vulpix level up? Very likely. Yes. Yes. My Vulpix on level 6.
Gassed up and confident, the director and his Vulpix continues onward through Route 1 toward Viridian City, seeking any and all challenge along the way. The Pidgeys of Palatown were fierce, but weren't strong enough. Cinder could help him catch one. What was more fitting for the Palatown champion than one of Palatown's beloved birds? The director adjusts his coat and treks down the path, then deep and through the wet, tall grass.
As opposed to throwing it back in the ball like I did before, because of what I just learned from her, I decided to keep Cinder outside of the ball and let Cinder, run and walk it off. And Cinder, I think, appreciates that. Does Cinder appreciate that? Very likely. Definitely. And what does Cinder do? Protect/swift. It looks more confident. It looks like it's vigilant. Got its eyes on the sky so that it would be ready to swiftly react to any more angry Pidgeys come flying out of the sky. We continue our journey toward Viridian City from Route 1. Quick cut back to my body. Again, my character is in a coma and will continue to be in a coma. Whatever they're doing, they are successfully able to keep me sustained as well as my injured Vulpix. Mother, Oak, they routinely come in to check on my character, and I still seem to be alive. And for as long as I'm alive, I will be able to continue my journey in my coma dream state. In fact, maybe, just maybe, if I am able to accomplish my dreams in the most literal sense, I will be able to return to good health and exit my coma. This is Pokemon Red Midjourney.